You've felt it, that deep knowing in your soul that you're meant for something greater than the ordinary. You are among the chosen ones, those who are destined for greatness, yet often misunderstood or cast aside by those who can't see what's truly inside of you. You've been that person who lifts others up, only to find yourself standing alone at times, wondering why the very people you supported didn't see your worth. But let me tell you something, being one of the chosen ones isn't about being understood by everyone, nor is it about being accepted by the masses. It's about your divine purpose, the unique gifts you carry, and the strength that comes from being misunderstood. The path you walk isn't always easy, and it's often paved with betrayal, heartache, and doubt. But here's the truth that many won't tell you: it's in those moments, when you're alone and at your lowest, that you begin to realize just how blessed you truly are. The very things that people try to break you with are the things that are going to build you into the force you're meant to become. You've already been through the fire, and now you're about to rise from it stronger than ever, because you are the blessing you always have been. It's time to let the world see that, the unseen power of the chosen ones. There's power inside you that few understand, and even fewer can appreciate. People may look at you and think you're just like everyone else, but if they only knew what you're truly made of, they'd be in awe. Your energy, your spirit, the way you carry yourself, it's not normal. It's divine. You were born with a gift, a calling that goes beyond what most can even imagine. The world around you may be full of distractions, fake illusions, and surface-level achievements, but deep down you feel it, don't you? That pull towards something greater. You were never meant to blend in with the crowd. From a young age, you've known there was something different about you. It's like the universe whispered to you that you were meant to do more, to be more, and to shine in a way that no one else could. Maybe you didn't know what that looked like at first, but every experience, every trial, every victory, it was all leading you to this very moment. The real power you possess is not in what people see on the surface, but in the depths of your soul. It's the ability to rise, even when others try to drag you down. It's the strength to keep going when all seems lost. The power to forgive even the deepest betrayals and still come out on top. And as you continue on your journey, you'll realize that your power isn't just in what you do, it's in who you are. And no matter what anyone says or does, that power is undeniable. The betrayal, when loyalty meets disillusionment. Loyalty is one of the rarest gifts you can offer someone, and when you offer it, you give all of yourself. But let's be honest, loyalty is often taken for granted. You've been the person who stood by others, who gave without hesitation, who fought their battles as if they were your own. You put their needs before yours, even when it hurt. You shared your heart, your time, and your energy with those who you believed had your back, only to realize that not everyone sees loyalty the way you do. You probably thought that your loyalty was a bond that could never be broken, that it was a foundation too strong for anyone to tear down. But when the truth comes crashing in, it hits harder than you could have ever imagined. They weren't who you thought they were. They didn't value your loyalty. They didn't appreciate what you brought to their lives. And in that moment, when you realize that the people you've poured yourself into have turned their back on you, it's crushing. The betrayal stings not just because they hurt you, but because you now see the truth. You see the masks they wore, the way they used your loyalty for their gain, only to discard you when it no longer served them. It's a painful awakening, one that leaves you questioning everything you thought you knew about trust and loyalty. But in that moment of disillusionment, something else happens. You realize that betrayal, while painful, is a gift in disguise. It teaches you the value of your own loyalty, and it shows you that not everyone deserves the kind of love and commitment you so freely give. You learn that loyalty isn't something to be given to just anyone, and that it should be reserved for those who truly see you for who you are. The illusion, what they sold their soul for. They thought they were getting something better. They thought that by walking away from you, by choosing something or someone else, they were making the right decision. Maybe it looked good on the surface, shiny, new, exciting, but what they didn't realize is that the illusion they sold their soul for was nothing but a mirage. What they chased after wasn't real, and now they're stuck in a lie. You see, they thought they could trade what was pure and lasting for something fleeting, something that promised quick rewards but would leave them empty in the end. They chose the easy path, the path that promised instant gratification, only to find that what they thought was gold was nothing more than fool's gold. The temporary validation, the fleeting pleasures, they all crumbled in the face of true power. And now, as they stand there watching you rise, they can't deny it. They made the wrong choice. They were blinded by their own insecurities, by the idea of what could have been, rather than seeing the real treasure that was right in front of them all along. You were the blessing they couldn't recognize, and now that they've traded you for an illusion, they have nothing left. Their choices have led them to a place of emptiness, while you stand in your truth, in your power, and in your purpose. They thought they could do better, but now they see they were never going to find anything that could compare to the real thing. And as you continue to rise, they'll have to live with the reality of what they gave up. You've learned that sometimes the most valuable thing is not just knowing your worth, but refusing to settle for anything less than what you deserve. The divine purpose, how betrayal serves the chosen ones. Betrayal, for most, is a wound that cuts deep. It's a sharp sting, a wound that feels almost impossible to heal. We often ask ourselves, why me? Why did I have to go through this? What did I do to deserve this kind of pain? But here's the thing you need to understand. Betrayal doesn't happen to you, it happens for you. It's not something the universe randomly throws your way to punish you. It's a lesson, a powerful shift designed to push you closer to your divine purpose. You see, those who betray you aren't doing so because you aren't valuable. They're doing it because your value scares them. Your light is too bright for their darkness. And when the universe sees you at a crossroads, where you are stuck, where you have been tethered by these relationships that no longer serve your purpose, betrayal is the divine hand that sets you free. It may not feel like freedom at the time, but trust me, it is. I've been there myself. I remember a time when I was deeply invested in someone I thought I'd never have to question. I gave them my loyalty, my time, my energy, but it wasn't enough. They chose to walk away from me, and in that moment, I felt like the world had collapsed. I wondered how I would ever recover from such a deep wound. But as time passed, I began to understand. The universe had to remove them from my life for a reason. They were holding me back, whether intentionally or not. They couldn't see my worth, and because they couldn't, they were keeping me stuck. That betrayal was the push I needed. I had been relying on them to complete me, to validate me, but what I realized through that pain was this: I don't need anyone to validate me. I am enough. And that betrayal, as painful as it was, ultimately helped me reconnect with my purpose, to discover my own strength and to rise above. So if you're experiencing betrayal right now, understand this. It's the universe pushing you toward your divine purpose. It's the catalyst for your transformation. Trust that, no matter how painful it feels, it's leading you to where you're meant to be. The consequences of betrayal, the price of misjudgment. There's an old saying that goes, what you do in the dark will come to light. And let me tell you something, when it comes to betrayal, there's no hiding from the truth. Betrayal is not a fleeting mistake. It's a decision with lasting consequences. When someone chooses to betray you, they may think they're getting away with it, that the consequences will never catch up to them. But that's a lie. The universe has a way of balancing things out. You see, those who betray others are making a choice. They're choosing a momentary gain over long-term fulfillment. They're sacrificing loyalty, trust, and integrity for something shallow, something that looks good for a moment but leaves them empty in the end. I've seen it happen time and time again. People who thought they could play the game, manipulate, or deceive, only to find that their actions led to their own undoing. I had a friend who betrayed my trust once. They lied, manipulated, and took advantage of my kindness. At first, it seemed like they were winning. They got what they wanted, but I knew that they weren't going to be able to escape the consequences. They thought they could move on unscathed, but life has a way of catching up, and it did. What they didn't understand was that betrayal doesn't just hurt the person being betrayed, it ruins the betrayer as well. They lose their integrity. They lose their peace. They lose the trust of everyone around them. Their actions ripple outward, impacting everything they touch. The price of misjudgment is steep, and no one gets away with it. If you've experienced betrayal, let that be your comfort. You don't need to seek revenge, because the universe has already set the price. It's only a matter of time before they face the consequences of their actions. And when they do, they'll realize that no victory gained through deceit is worth the toll it takes on their soul. Transformation, rising like a phoenix. You've been through the fire. You've faced the deepest pain, the toughest challenges, and the hardest betrayals. But what if I told you that all of that was preparing you for something far greater than you could have imagined? What if I told you that everything you've been through, every tear, every heartbreak, and every betrayal was not meant to destroy you but to transform you? It's true. You've been through the fire, and now it's time to rise from those ashes, stronger than you've ever been. I know this feeling because I've lived it. There was a time when I felt completely broken. I thought I would never be able to recover from the hurt. But in those moments of darkness, something inside me shifted. I began to realize that the fire I had been walking through wasn't there to burn me, it was there to refine me. I began to rebuild, piece by piece, stronger and wiser than before. The old version of me had to die for the new, more powerful version to emerge. I embraced the transformation, and now I stand before you as proof that you can rise too. Like a phoenix, you can rise from the ashes of your past. You can leave behind the pain, the betrayal, the hurt, and step into a new chapter of your life, one that is filled with strength, clarity, and purpose. Transformation is a process. It doesn't happen overnight. But with every step forward, you'll realize that you're becoming something greater, something unstoppable. Don't fear the fire. Embrace it. Let it burn away everything that no longer serves you, and allow it to reveal the true, unshakable power that lies within you. You are rising like a phoenix, and your wings are growing stronger with every beat. The karmic reversal, how the universe works in mysterious ways. The universe has a way of working that often leaves us in awe. It's not always immediate. It doesn't always make sense at first. But when you look back and see how everything unfolded, you realize that there's a greater plan at work. Betrayal, heartbreak, and pain, all of these things serve a purpose. They serve as the catalyst for something much bigger than you could have imagined. You might have felt like you were a victim in the past, like life was unfair, and that you were being punished. But let me tell you, the universe doesn't work that way. What you've experienced, what you've endured wasn't punishment, it was preparation. And now, you're about to experience something incredible, a karmic reversal. The very people who wronged you, who tried to bring you down, are going to witness your rise. They'll see you stand tall, unshaken, and unstoppable. And in that moment, they'll realize that they played a role in your ascension. Their actions didn't break you, they built you. And now, the universe is going to make sure they understand that. The karmic law is simple. What you put into the world comes back to you. When people hurt others, that energy finds its way back to them. They can't escape it. I've seen it happen to those who thought they could get away with mistreating others. The very things they did to me, those betrayals, those lies, came back to them in ways they could never have predicted. The universe has a way of showing people the truth when they least expect it. It's not revenge, it's not a punishment, it's the natural course of things. The energy they put out into the world will come back to them. And you, as the chosen one, will rise higher than they ever thought possible. Trust in the universe's timing. Trust in the cosmic order. What goes around always comes around, and what was once taken from you will be returned tenfold. The universe has a way of making sure that the scales are balanced. And in the end, those who tried to hold you down will see you rise in ways they could never have imagined. It's the karmic reversal, and it's coming for them. Embracing the divine truth, owning your worth. Have you ever felt like you were made to dim your light so others wouldn't feel uncomfortable? Maybe you've been in relationships, friendships, or situations where you felt like you had to shrink just to fit in. You had this inner knowing that you were destined for something greater, but somehow you allowed others to make you question your worth. You let their insecurities define how you saw yourself. But now, it's time for you to break free from that. It's time for you to embrace the divine truth that has always been inside of you. You are worthy. From the very beginning, you were born with an innate value that no one can take away. Your worth isn't dependent on someone else's opinion of you. It's not about validation from others or fitting into someone else's mold. It's about owning the truth that has always been yours. There was a time in my life when I struggled with this. I gave so much of myself to others, whether it was my time, my love, my support, and I started to lose sight of who I was. I let people take from me without ever giving back. I thought that being selfless was the answer. But in doing so, I forgot something crucial. I am worthy of love, respect, and reciprocity. It wasn't until I had been hurt, betrayed, and left alone that I realized I had been giving my energy to the wrong people. I had to go through that pain to understand something profound. My worth had never been in question. It was the people around me who couldn't see it. It was their inability to value me that led them to betray me. And that's when I finally understood, I don't need anyone's approval to know that I am worthy. I am worthy of success. I am worthy of love. I am worthy of peace. You are too. You are worthy of everything you desire in this world, and no one can take that from you. The moment you embrace this divine truth, your whole life will shift. The doubts, the fear, the insecurities, they'll begin to fade away because you'll be anchored in your worth. And from that place, you will rise like never before. You'll stop chasing validation, and instead, you'll become the magnet that attracts everything you've always deserved. Embrace the divine truth within you. Own your worth. And watch as the universe starts to mirror that back to you in ways you never imagined. Moving forward, the rise of the chosen ones. So you've been through it all, the heartache, the betrayal, the loneliness. You've been knocked down, but every time you got back up, you became stronger. And now, it's time for you to move forward. It's time for you to embrace your true power and rise like never before. The chosen ones are those who have endured the most, but they are also the ones who rise the highest. I know it hasn't been easy. I know there have been days when you felt like giving up, when you wondered if you were even on the right path. But the truth is, everything you've been through was preparing you for this moment. The universe has been refining you, shaping you, and guiding you toward your divine purpose. And now that you've learned the lessons, now that you've reclaimed your power, it's time for you to step into the greatness that is waiting for you. There was a point in my own journey when I was stuck, feeling as though I was in a constant battle with the world. I questioned my path, my worth, and my ability to rise. But one day something shifted. I realized that everything I had been through, every struggle, every betrayal, every challenge, was preparing me for something bigger. And once I understood that, once I accepted that my struggles were my stepping stones, I started moving forward. I stopped looking back. I stopped doubting myself. I began to embrace my destiny, and everything started to fall into place. The doors began to open, the opportunities started to flow, and the people who were meant to be in my life showed up. I realized that the more I moved forward, the more everything around me aligned with my true purpose. And now, as I look back, I understand why I had to go through everything I did. It wasn't punishment, it was preparation. And now, it's your turn. You're in the process of rising. You're in the process of stepping into your true power. You are becoming the version of yourself that was always meant to be. And with every step forward, you will continue to rise higher and higher until you are standing exactly where you were always meant to be. The world is waiting for you. Your success is inevitable. Your greatness is undeniable. Keep moving forward because the rise of the chosen ones is unstoppable. Conclusion, the final awakening. As I sit here reflecting on my journey, I realize that there is a final awakening that happens once you've gone through the fire, once you've walked through the storms, once you've faced betrayal, loss, and heartache. It's the awakening where you truly understand that everything you've been through was not just a test. It was your awakening to the true power inside of you. You were chosen for this journey. You were chosen because you have a purpose far greater than you could ever have imagined. There were times when you doubted yourself, when you felt like giving up, but look at you now. You've come through the other side. You've learned, you've grown, and you've evolved. The final awakening is when you step into the full realization that you are unstoppable, that you are aligned with your purpose, and that no matter what happens in the future, you are ready. You are no longer a victim of your circumstances. You are the creator of your reality. And with that realization, everything shifts. The world can no longer touch you. You are untouchable because you now know who you are, you know your worth, you know your power, you know your divine purpose, and nothing can stand in your way. This is the final awakening. It's when you stop waiting for permission to be great. It's when you stop allowing anyone to define your path. It's when you finally claim the life that has always been yours. So, as you stand on the threshold of this new chapter, I want you to know something. You are the one who holds the key to your future. You are the one who gets to decide what your next step is. And as you step into this new phase of your life, know that everything you've endured has led you to this moment. You are ready, you are chosen, and the world is waiting for you to rise and show them who you truly are. This is your final awakening. The journey is just beginning.